It's 6:14 on the clock right now, and he's one of the most familiar faces and voices in Indiana and Illinois when it comes to car dealership commercials. Tippecanoe County native Bob Rohrman has been a staple in the car industry for nearly 60 years.
Truly one of a kind, but while most people know what he does, a Lafayette author wanted to share the story of who Bob Rohrman is. News 18 this morning sat down with author Jeff Washburn as he shares what keeps driving Rohrman on the road to success.
Many know him for his goofy commercials.
It's just
or the many different characters he plays in those commercials.
I'd like to thank the Academy and all our customers by offering them great deals on new Subarus.
And just about everyone knows that name made unforgettable.
Bob Rohrman.
But Lafayette native and author Jeff Washburn now knows Bob Rohrman as the main character of his newest book titled A Fantastic Ride. The project stemmed from a conversation between the two. Washburn told Rohrman that he had a vision for what he wanted to share with readers.
What people would be interested in reading is who you are. Not what you are. They know what you are. We want to tell them who you are.
The story takes readers on a ride through each chapter of the auto industry guru's life. Rohrman, who was one of 11 children, grew up in a log cabin in Tippecanoe County. He graduated from Lafayette Jeff.
Extremely humble background. The family was extremely poor, but Bob used his personality, his wit, and he's very intelligent, to rise through the ranks.
Washburn says it was Rohrman's brother-in-law, who was a car salesman, that fueled his passion for the auto industry in the 50s.
He said Bob Glennar Pittman, who had the Ford dealership in downtown Lafayette at the time, needs a salesperson. What do you think? You've got a great personality. You might be a good car salesman. Bob said, well, let's go down and talk to him. So that very moment, they got in the car, drove to Pittman Ford. Bob went in, sat down with Pittman, they talked. Pittman said, yeah, you're good. I think you can do this. When do you want to start? And Bob said, today.
And that would be the beginning of his journey on the road to success. Now, at age 82, Rohrman owns more than 30 car dealerships throughout Illinois and Indiana. But Washburn says what keeps driving Rohrman to success is the people who've been a part of his story.
He enjoys the relationships, and I think that's what really struck me is here's this guy that is, it's fair to say, extremely wealthy, but yet he loves to sit with someone and have fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and whole kernel corn.
Washburn says Rohrman is an open book and shares everything from his childhood to even failed marriages and gives an inside look at family life. But he says throughout the book, readers will notice a common theme.
But he's never gotten away from his humble roots here in Lafayette, and Lafayette will always be home for Bob. And even though he has a mansion in Downers Grove, Illinois, he still calls Lafayette home.
What a life story, huh?
Yeah, it was really neat to sit down with Jeff and talk about that book that he wrote. And you could get a copy of it if you walk in any of the Bob Rohrman Auto Group dealerships here in Lafayette. You could purchase a book there, or you could wait until after Thanksgiving. You can find it on Amazon and on the shelves at local bookstores.
Thanks for bringing that to us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun story.